You know, there's nothing quite like the joy of hearing the doorbell ring and seeing your grandkids rush in with big hugs, or your grown children settling in for a long chat over a cup of coffee. But what happens when those visits become fewer and farther between? When the phone stays quiet and the calendar feels emptier than it used to? If you've ever felt that pang of loneliness, that ache of missing your family, you're not alone. And more importantly, there are ways to fill your heart with love and connection, even when the people you miss the most aren't around as much as you'd like. That's what we're going to talk about today: how to feel loved, valued, and deeply connected no matter what. Because here's the truth: your worth isn't measured by how often others visit. You are deserving of love, joy, and meaningful relationships, and sometimes we just need to look in new places to find them. So, let's explore 5 beautiful ways to nurture that sense of love and belonging, starting with the first one. 1. Reconnect with old friends and make new ones. Remember Mary from your old book club? Or Joe, your former coworker who always made you laugh? Sometimes, when we miss our family, we forget about the other wonderful people who've been part of our lives. Reaching out to an old friend can feel like opening a window on a stuffy day, letting in fresh air and sunshine. And here's the thing: they might be missing connection just as much as you are. Start small. Send a text, an email, or even a handwritten letter. Who doesn't love getting real mail? Say something simple like, "I was just thinking about you and wanted to say hello." You'd be surprised how often that sparks a lovely conversation. And if old friends aren't around, it's never too late to make new ones. Join a local senior group, take a class at the community center, or strike up a conversation with someone at the park. Friendship doesn't have an expiration date. 2. Find purpose in helping others. There's a special kind of warmth that comes from making someone else's day a little brighter. Whether it's volunteering at a food bank, knitting blankets for newborns at the hospital, or simply calling a neighbor who lives alone, giving your time and care reminds you how much love you still have to offer. You don't have to do something big to make a difference. Sometimes it's the small things, like baking cookies for the mail carrier or reading to kids at the library, that leave the biggest mark. And when you focus on lifting others up, something beautiful happens. You lift yourself up too. Now, let's talk about something just as powerful, maybe even more so. 3. Create your own rituals of love. Just because your family isn't visiting as often doesn't mean you can't fill your days with love. Think about the little things that make you feel cherished. Maybe it's lighting a candle with your morning coffee, writing in a gratitude journal, or playing your favorite music while you cook. These small acts of kindness toward yourself matter. One lovely idea: start a love box. Fill it with notes to yourself, memories that make you smile, things you're proud of, or even letters you wish you'd received. On days when you're feeling lonely, pull one out and read it. You might just find that the love you give yourself is just as meaningful as the love you receive from others. And that's where we'll pick up next, because there are still more ways to surround yourself with love, even when the house feels too quiet. But for now, why not try one of these ideas today? Call a friend, do something kind for someone else, or take a moment to appreciate yourself. You deserve it. You know, there's a beautiful truth I've learned over the years. Love isn't something we only receive from others. It's something we can cultivate in countless ways all around us. When family visits become rare, it doesn't mean your capacity to give and receive love has diminished. In fact, this might be your opportunity to discover deeper, more nourishing forms of connection than you ever imagined. Let me share with you the story of my friend Eleanor. At 72, she found herself feeling increasingly lonely after her grandchildren moved across the country. The silence in her home felt heavy, until one day, she decided to visit the local animal shelter. Just to look, she told herself. That just looking turned into adopting a scrappy little terrier named Benny. Now, Eleanor says Benny greets her every morning with more enthusiasm than she's ever experienced. He doesn't care if my hair's a mess or if I'm moving slower these days, she laughs. To him, I'm the most important person in the world. This brings us to our fourth way to feel loved. Trwasont. Welcome new companions into your life. Animals have an extraordinary gift for unconditional love. Whether it's a cat purring in your lap, a dog eager for walks, or even watching birds at a feeder, these connections can fill your days with purpose and affection. If pet ownership isn't possible, consider volunteering at an animal shelter. Many have senior-friendly programs, offering to pet sit for neighbors, installing a bird feeder outside your window. But our potential for meaningful connections extends far beyond the animal kingdom. Have you ever noticed how a brief, genuine conversation with a stranger can lift your spirits for hours? That's because 5. Rediscover the art of everyday connections. The cashier who remembers your name, the mail carrier who waves, the neighbor who always compliments your garden. These micro moments of connection are like emotional vitamins, small but essential doses of human warmth. Try this experiment. For 1 week, make it your mission to 1. Learn one new thing about someone you see regularly. 2. Offer one sincere compliment daily. 3. Accept one invitation, even if you're tempted to decline. You'll be amazed at how these small acts create ripples of connection. Margaret, 81, told me she struck up a conversation with a young mother at the park bench. That casual chat turned into weekly meetups, where Margaret reads stories to the woman's toddler. I get to experience the wonder of childhood again, Margaret says, and I like to think I'm giving that young mom a much-needed break. Now, let's talk about one of the most powerful, yet often overlooked, sources of connection. Sanotron. Build bridges across generations. There's a special magic that happens when different generations come together. Young people hunger for the wisdom and patience that comes with life experience, while seniors often find renewed energy and perspective through younger connections. Consider volunteering as a reader at a preschool, joining a seniors teaching tech program at your library, sharing your skills, sewing, woodworking, storytelling, with younger neighbors. The beauty of these connections? They help rewrite the narrative that aging means becoming irrelevant. Nothing could be further from the truth. You know, after all these years, I've learned something profound. The love that never fades, the connection that never disappoints, has been with us all along. It's the relationship we have with ourselves. When my dear friend Arthur lost his wife of 52 years, he told me the silence was unbearable. Then one morning, he set 2 coffee cups at the table out of habit. Instead of putting one away, he left it there and began telling her about his dreams, just like always. It hit me then, he said. Love isn't something people take with them when they go. It stays right here. This brings us to our final and most important way to feel loved. 11. Become your own best company. The remarkable truth: the way you speak to yourself becomes the blueprint for how others treat you. Try Arthur's morning ritual. The 2-cup check-in. Pour your morning beverage in 2 cups. Ask yourself aloud, how are you really feeling today? Respond with the kindness you'd offer your dearest friend. 12. Create a love legacy project. Your life experiences are medicine the world needs. Consider recording audio stories for StoryCourse, making a life lessons scrapbook, planting a wisdom garden with flowers representing different life chapters. Final thought: the beautiful paradox. When we stop waiting for love and start being love, that's when the whole world shows up. The neighbor who waves, the grandchild who suddenly calls, the stranger whose day you brighten without realizing it. So here's my challenge for you this week. Pick one small way to honor your extraordinary worth. Maybe it's finally taking that painting class, or simply sitting quietly with your own wonderful company. If this resonated with you, pay it forward. 1. Like this video so others find it too. Subscribe for more heart-to-heart talks. 3. Comment below. What's one way you'll show yourself love today? Because the truth is, the world needs exactly who you are right now. Until next time, dear friend, keep remembering your light.